Hi, my name is Joshua Warren, and I'm here to demonstrate how electromagnetics apply to magnetic particle inspection. So, what I have here is a bar that I've wrapped in some coil to make a series of electromagnets, so I can basically create a magnet with this part once I put the battery into the circuit. And then I have a carpentry square here to complete the magnetic circuit of the iron and actually focus the magnetic field over this crack that I've created in the bar. I have some magnetic pieces of dust here, which are just metal shavings that I've collected. So I'm going to go ahead and give this one a shot. Put the battery in series. Okay, that's kind of magnetized. Okay. Alright, so now I'm going to sprinkle this dust across. And you can kind of see it's starting to stick to the part. And there's a whole bunch of the dust that's actually kind of collecting into the crack. So I'm going to release the magnet and you can kind of see how much dust is collected there. So because the area of the bar is getting smaller, the magnetic flux has to leave the area of the metal and go through the air, so the little metallic dust that I have is actually getting sucked into the magnetic field that's going through the air, and those particles are closing the air gap. So I'm going to do another demonstration here with the carpentry square. Instead of an electromagnet, I'm going to use some permanent magnets that I have and just attach them onto the bar itself. So first, you want to make sure that you're contacting this with a north and south pole, which want to stick together. So I'm going to separate these two. I can. Alright, so I'm going to put that one there, and then I need to flip this one so the other opposite pole is touching. Okay, and now if I leave it this way, the air gap, the magnetic flux is going to go through the iron. There will be a little bit of interaction between these two, but most of it's just going to circle the part and come back. So what I do is I add this other section of metal pipe, and that completes a magnetic circuit, which allows the path to go complete in this direction. Now, the real key here is I have a hole in my part, so I'm going to try and inspect and actually see this hole by only looking at magnetic dust. So I'm going to cover it with paper so I can get some contrast as well. And now I'm going to collect my particles. So as you can see, the particles are collecting over here because that's where the first magnet is, and that's the flux leaving this side of the bar and wrapping around the material. But they also are collecting in the area where there's the hole, because there's a smaller area of steel available for the flux to travel through. The magnetic lines of flux are leaving the part, and that's what's causing these magnetic particles to collect at the surface. So this can be applied to the inspection of especially like oil field pipe in the field, because they do a lot of welding there, so they can actually create a magnetic field over the weld and then apply magnetic particles over the weld, and then when there's a crack in the surface, the magnetic particles will start to collect in the area where there's the crack, because the magnetic flux is now leaving the iron and going through the air. Okay, and that's the basics of magnetic particle inspection.